good. How you doing?
I was wondering, at what point did you realize that interviewing with a mask on was hindering the reactions you were gathering?
Interviewing with him. Oh, just kind of when COVID entered the third wave. I mean, I still wear a mask if I'm like in like protest spaces, just because it's little optics things like that just help establish trust. But I mean, pretty much after I got vaccinated, after like 3 or 4 months of just being at right-wing rallies, where if you did have a mask on, they'd be like, "You can't talk to me." You know, like that was a thing in 2020 during the election. If I was at a Trump rally or something like that with a mask on, they would just be like, "I'm not talking to you." But the movie studio, like Tim and Eric, they like basically wanted me to wear a mask in every interview. So for the right-wing people, I'd wear an American flag gaiter, like up to the eyes, because you know, it's like crazy, like, you know, American terrorists, something like that. It's like blocked, you know, so they're like, oh, he's hiding his identity because he's wanted by the FBI. For sure.
Hey there. So how do you decide when you inject your personality into an interview or a video in general? Because I noticed on your road trip video,
Yeah.
you were very much yourself, you were very much in the video, you were kind of reacting to things as you got in the car and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that we just wanted to try something vlog style out to see if it was, you know, effective. And it turns out people like the kind of like behind the scenes RV look. So just for that instance. But for Ukraine, you know, I wouldn't want to show like me like, getting late night food or anything like that. Yeah, for sure.
And then the other question is, being from Seattle, I found
Are you from Seattle?
I'm from Seattle.
I'm
I'm from this tiny little farm town called Duval, so it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But I've noticed people are really passive and passive aggressive in Seattle, and I was curious if that helped you with your journalism, being able to not laugh at people to their face, because for me, it's really hard to laugh.
Yeah, probably. So I'm from Capitol Hill, and everyone's sort of like passive aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
They get super mad if you laugh or like, you know, don't. So yeah, you're probably right.
But I'm just curious, like, have you ever laughed at somebody's face during an interview? And has it
I don't think so, man. You know, like you seem like a kind person, right? You're a pretty empathetic dude.
I try.
Well, when you're looking at someone, like if they're really saying something passionately, it's not the first response. So
Totally.
laugh. It's kind of hard for me, you know.
But they seem so willing to not laugh at you, but to be kind of way too
Well, I'm okay with being laughed at, you know.
Yeah, okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
for sure.
All right, well,
Thank you. I appreciate it. So,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
we are definitely here.
Do you own any fanny packs?
Am I into fanny packs?
Do you own any?
No, but I'm not against them or anything.
Okay,
Good question.
so I remember seeing your documentary by Vice. It was about you guys. I remember them mentioning, you mentioned that you get hallucinations every once in a while.
All the time right now.
Right now, can you tell me about that?
Yeah, well, I did a bunch of shrooms when I was like 12, 13, too many. So now I just have like, you know, lifelong visual snow, like a little TV static.
Is it really just not last right?
Yeah, it's whack. Well, I'm co-producing a documentary about like potential cures, but they've cured like 2 or 3 people with medication that treats epileptics. Basically, there's a cord that goes between your eyes and your brain. Like a processing cord, like a HDMI cord, basically. And if you do too many psychedelics, it seems while your brain is developing, you get overstimulated, and that cord becomes like hyper aware. So you actually have static in your brain, but your eyes, from when you're a little kid, block the static out. But psychedelics make you so aware of like the fact that your vision isn't actually perfect that you become a TV.
Let's see. So I have 2 first. So as a follow-up to that, how has that affected the hallucinations and experience with drugs that you have? How has that affected your life as a journalist?
Well, the good thing is now I don't really do drugs. You know what I mean? So I've been able to go to like raves and stuff and like turn down MDMA or LSD. So I've been able to shoot as opposed to being tripping, you know. I just can't really do any drugs or recreational stuff like that. Just my brain just reacts negatively to it. I can smoke a little bit of weed if I'm like super comfortable, but if I smoke like a dab or something, like I'm going to the hospital. You smoke weed?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a high school teacher as well.
Congrats! What are you teaching right now?
Currently social studies and economics and world history class. Students, do you have any advice for social studies students, what they might need to look forward to in the future?
What do you think?
I think that you're right that they should be aware of the power of a camera in your phone.
Yeah, it's everything.
A journalist as everybody's a journalist.
It's what the news stations fear.
Yeah. I wish you luck. Thank
You too, man. Thank you. Oh, sick merch? Thank you. I appreciate that. Double merch stuff.
So, speaking of books and reading, would you ever consider republishing the Allgas and Briggs book?
I'm about to do a republishing in a couple months. So I'm doing a 40-page forward about different stuff. Then I'm doing the original reprint of the book with 4 more stories, early days of Allgas and Briggs. Raided Area 51, Burning Man, Flat Earth Conference, and Sausage Castle. All animated, so it'll be a full reprint. I'm just trying to put it together and figure out, what kind of animation style I want.
Oh yeah, that leads perfectly into my next question. Do you need a merch designer or animator for
I think I'm covered on that, but I appreciate it, man. If you want to send me something, it's andrew@channel5.news.
Cool, I'll hit you some stuff.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
No,
Yeah.
what about the flags? You're up here and I was like, I saw you.
Oh, my truck broke down in Kansas a year ago. I have a distant cousin named Cousin Joe. Never met him before. He's been fixing it for a year. He wanted me to go get it. And I was like, that's a long road trip. So I scheduled a little cool tour on the way back to California from Kansas. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. You done? So, how you doing? Oh shit, you got a special thing?
I just wanted to ask, as you're going and growing in popularity, how might you want to avoid for those who want to flaunt for the camera rather than just give them
It's just pretty obvious, you know what I mean? It's something we dealt with in the jump. Somebody who's trying to go viral, by extension, cannot go viral. Because people appreciate the raw organic nature of somebody.
Yeah.
So when someone comes up, it's been so annoying. You know how in that one video, the Talladega video, someone yelled, "Show me your butthole." Show me your butthole! Everywhere I go now, people are like, it's so annoying. People yell at me the word butthole. I saw my grandma in California walking down the street, and some sweaty ass server dude rolled down his window and was like, "Butthole!" I was like, that guy was crazy. My grandma was like, "Why did he yell at me?" I can't explain. This is how real curse.
Oh, I got one more. I got two actually. But this is getting low.
That shit's going down.
So,
I have a question.
yeah. So, does it get a little freaking living on an RV, kind of just traveling?
Yeah.
Is it, what may be are you used to it? Or
Well, sometimes it gets crunchy. The previous owner didn't clear out the septic tank, so we thought there was a black mold, but it was ammonia, which just comes from stale pee, 6 years worth of pee, just stale, and it was rising into the air and giving all of us poisoning. So we pee. So we used for 2 months, and I was like, why? All right, pass out every 2 hours. So it's almost like that. But no, we actually got a newer RV after doing things. We did take the old RV back, and that was a 2016 RV, so there's no problems.
And one more, what's one of the most memorable things you've seen while tripping?
Tripping? Yeah. Well, I haven't tripped since I was 14, but all my fans trying to snakes and shit, and jumping at my face. And I was tripping with this dude, Toby, right? And he was like, "I want to be naked." Toby, it's about 3 o'clock this morning. Your mom's asleep upstairs. It's a small ass, row home. And I'm like, "You can't do that right now. There's nowhere for you to be naked normally." He's like, "If I can't be naked here, I'll go be naked somewhere else." Fighting off these snakes. Toby, what the fuck are you doing? And so, cops come because Toby's butt naked in his neighbor's yard. Like this, 14-year-old kid staring at his neighbor while she's making a sandwich. He's like, "Miss Gonzalez," or something shit like that. She calls the cops. Toby's mom's crying. I'm still fighting the snakes. Thank you. There she is. Hey.
I just wanted to say thank you before I ask my question because I showed my mom your videos and she's pretty conservative and right wing, and I just wanted to thank you for giving her some perspective.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, she definitely took a really big it affected her, and I just want to say.
Which video did you show me?
The first video was the spring break video, and she was like, this shoot is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, can we watch another one? And I was like, mom, something a little bit political. But she was like, come on, like, let's just watch. And we watched the George Floyd video, and she was like,
damn.
I could just see that she was really affected. Like, she didn't see the people who were protesting as people.
Right.
And like, they became people because
Wow.
of your interviews. And I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I wanted to ask you, out of all the people you've interviewed, who has like affected you the most emotionally? Like, has there been a moment where you're like, whoa, I have to like, step back and like absorb what I just...
Honestly, just all those Minneapolis protest interviews that you're talking about, you know, just being present for that, just the explosion of emotion was crazy. So I still think about it all the time.
Yeah.
So that, the exact thing that you're talking about, every person.
Okay.
The
Thank
first
you.
interview in that video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You got the merch too? Let's go. Double merch, just like that. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, I got 2 quick questions for you.
Let's get it.
Nowhere near as meaningful as.
It's hard.
All right. First, I remember watching a podcast where you were connecting back to the septic tank on your RV, and you mentioned something with driving past a school for the deaf and blind.
Oh God, yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah, I just wanted to know like what was going through your mind.
So we had a septic leak, for those who don't know, you know, so we can give this some context. So we had a septic leak. Someone took a shit in the RV, wasn't me, it was fine with us. No one wanted to take responsibility for it. And it wasn't set up, so there was shit flying from both angles out of the RV. In a small residential neighborhood in Tucson called Barrio Edina, beautiful old Spanish style homes. Getting shit on it. I'm like, yo, we gotta dump this. I'm in public because, you know, I care about the world or anything. So we see this like shitty, nondescript parking lot. And I was like, let's just go dump here, bro. And not to mention, there was a sewer grate right there. So I'm like, let's dump near the sewer grate. Probably 80% of that will go in. I pulled the lever, a lot more shit than I thought came out. I was like, oh my God. And then after the dumps everywhere, my homie's like, oh no. I'm like, Evan, what? It's this fun light on the building. This is elementary school for the deaf and blind. So I'm like, we gotta get out of here, man. So I get in the car, we drive off, and I was like, I left my phone there. I went back. Yeah, it was sad. Won't do it again.
My condolences.
Yeah, sure.
Second question, I know in the past you signed a deal with Absolutely.
That's what the movie is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the work you were doing with Tim and Eric?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Yeah, the movie's with Tim and Eric in like a bigger studio. And the bigger studio is the one giving it all these rounds of feedback. Tim and Eric have been ready to go for like a year.
All right. Is there any information you can share other than?
It's about the 2020 election. It's just crazy. There's so many. There's like 50 interviews in it. You know.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right.
People still care about that time period, I hope, man.
Yeah, no, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Talking about like the Tim and Eric production.
Yeah.
So I was actually watching.
Get a little closer to the mic.
Sorry. I was actually watching old Tim and Eric episodes, and the parody news channel is called Channel 5.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did that have anything to do with picking the name Channel 5?
We picked the name Channel 5 because when we talked to people when we were filming Lagasto Breaks, and they were just so annoying that we didn't even want them to know the name of our show so they could never find us or contact us again. We'd be like, it's called Channel 5. Because they'd get scared by the fact that it was the news and be like, oh shit, I'm out of here. Like if someone would just grab the mic and be all aggressive, we'd be like, it's just Channel 5, and then we get nervous because we don't want their family to see them being an asshole. So Nick, when we were in Miami, he's like, we should call the show Channel 5. That's how it started.
Oh, that's awesome. And one more question.
Yeah.
Any future Crip Mac or Hop Twins videos?
Yeah, I'm gonna chill with Crip Mac tomorrow because it's my birthday tomorrow. Yeah.
Happy birthday! Aries. What's up? Aries.
But my first question is, so after I listened to the last Break Check pod with Ariel Pink, so like I was like a fan of him, like his music before at least. So I'm just curious, like, were you a fan of his music before?
I had no idea who Ariel Pink was.
Okay, so like, how do you feel about him now?
I mean, he was at the Capitol, right? That was crazy. The homie was like, I got this indie band guy coming over. He's pretty red pills. I was like, all right, this is crazy. What's fun fact about that? You know the rapper Earl Sweatshirt?
Yeah.
He was in the RV watching that shit with just like his head in his hands. He's like, I gotta get this guy out of the RV. Yeah. So there's a picture of me, Ariel Pink, and Earl in the RV. Me and Earl just hella bummed. Ariel Pink's like.
Yeah, shit that he was saying was just so crazy, like,
Yeah, I cut a lot of whacker shit that he said out of it because it was just too much.
Okay, that's surprising. I didn't hear it, but my second question is that like, so like you interview like all of these like super like really niche like subcultures. Do you think like any of them specifically are going to have like a super big impact on society, or like what one do you think has like the most importance?
Back in the day, I think that like the flat Earth community was the genesis of like a lot of the conspiracy theories that ended up taking over like the right-wing mainstream in 2020. Like flat Earth conference in 2019, and I remember some kid coming up to me and he's like, "You heard about this new shit that just dropped called Q?" And I was like, "No, tell me about it." And then 2 years later, like you got some Congress people talking about it. That was impactful, and I liked furries. They're impactful to each other. A lot of shit doesn't matter though when you get into niche subcultures. Like, let me rephrase that. It matters a lot to them and to me and to people, but like as far as like, impacting the world at large, a lot of people are just happy doing their thing. I'm happy for them.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. How was Passover? Is good? I'm not Jewish.
You're a Jew, man. Alright, well, I was just wondering, I had two questions. I was wondering how you felt about these machinima-esque companies who kind of push content creators to just grind out content day after day. How do you see them like still being in business? Like,
because there's enough kids who don't know how to read contracts like I was, and who are hungry to have a platform, and they're talented and they don't know their own value because no one's told them. So these companies come out of nowhere like, "Hey man, you're actually really funny. Like, sign this paperwork." And at the time, they gave me an RV and like a $40,000 a year salary, and I was waiting tables in New Orleans before that. So I was like, okay, that sounds amazing. That's like the step toward my dreams, and it was. So I don't hate them for giving me the opportunity, but the way they acted after the success came is what really matters. Because everyone's cool at first. When you sign a contract, you don't know if the label or the management agency is shitty until it really pops off. That's when the true color shows, when they start breaking down profit. And you're doing some math, and you're like, wait a second, you guys made $1 million this week. You know what I mean? And you're sweating me for invoicing you for a Best Western at Flagstaff. True story. That kind of thing.
Okay, well, I was also wondering, since I lived in Tucson for a little bit, what's the craziest thing you saw when you were down there?
Tucson?
Yes.
Just a lot, just people doing ketamine off toilet stuff. Just over and over again. People smoking green tea in porta potties, coming out screaming. Yeah, I love Tucson. Tucson and Flagstaff are the best. Let's not talk about the city in between.
I'm good, how about you? Alright, so I just want to say I fucking love the shit you do, you know.
Thank you, bro.
It feels like you're part of fucking history, you know. It's just, there's just something going on, you know. It's really special.
Appreciate it.
I feel like what you're doing here. But I just want to get real quick.
Yep.
So we're about 40 miles away from the reservation, the Navajo reservation.
Starts east toward Gallup, right?
Yeah. And there's a little town called Loop over there.
Yeah.
I live there, and I just want to ask you, you got any ghost stories? Do you believe in ghosts?
No, but I don't believe in ghosts.
No, that's fine.
I do the reservation thing, all the ghost thing. When I was driving east on the 48 to Gallup, you notice that like a giant crater or something?
Yeah, meteor crater.
You know how there's that like site right next to there, where there was like that they call it like the Death Caves or whatever? That's supposedly like the most haunted place on the reservation, and the dude at Chevron, but like, this native dude at Chevron was like, "You want to go there when I get on?" Hell yeah, bro. So I was waiting for school to get off. We went there, and he was telling me some crazy ghost stories. So I kind of do now. It's connected to the reservation. So, yeah.
Here's a little pitch, a future idea.
Yeah.
Just take a drive out to the reservation at night, you know, me and my see some crazy ass fucking shit.
I'm trying to cover some issues there, you know?
Yeah, definitely. That'd be
Just need the right opportunity, you know?
Yeah, that's just that's what I would say.
For sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I like the hoodie.
Thank you. All right. So you mentioned how you think like large media corporations are on their way out.
Yeah.
But we also have a lot of large media corporations, such as like the New York Times, who are adapting to current news, such as like podcasts and whatnot.
Yeah.
In your opinion, with all your experiences with large media corporations, especially reporters, who do you think tells like the truth, the closest thing to the truth, rather?
I think that here's the thing: is the truth is boring.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted a fact sheet with true statistics on it, Associated Press every day releases boring fact sheets with confirmed statistics about exactly what happened.
No one wants to read.
No one wants to read that. People want to see, like, you never believe, what just happened in New York City. Right. Or like Tucker Carlson, like the shit, it just blows my mind, like sensational programming. That's how people consume news. So that, I don't know. Like there is good reporting, it's just print and it's boring. Yeah. What do you think? You consume any like mainstream news outlets?
I mean, like honestly, like I do read some New York Times articles.
Yeah, me too.
It's like I follow on.
They're not like lying.
Yeah.
They're like, this is bullshit. It's trying to trick me into so they can make money.
Like I listen to like the Daily every once in a while.
The Daily, Marco Barbaro?
Yeah, but sometimes
It's
it's kind of
true.
like, it's just kind of like funny to listen to the Daily and they're just talking about like, war and then it's like, here, they want to call online therapists. It's like, it just feels weird. It doesn't feel
Yeah, I think New York Times has done a pretty good job with that. Okay. All things considered, the problem is with TV and cable news.
Right.
Not so much print publications.
Right. Because like Taylor Lorenzo, like she writes for
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
She's the one who wrote the article for the New York Times about our contract dispute. Really? Yeah, so Taylor Lorenzo is the one who helped us get the validation and that we got fucked over by the company so we could use that momentum to start Channel 5. So there is a positive correlation between what Taylor does and independent creators like us. So it's not like we're enemies with the New York Times.
Right.
Yeah,
And so, on the topic of sensational journalism here, do you think it's something like, and you were talking about like power of the phone is also like, I'm on Twitter and every day I'm just seeing like, absurd, crazy shit. And, like, do you think there is a limit where we should like, relax?
Yeah, don't be on the phone all the time.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. Cool. And then one last question.
Yeah.
There was a video that I forget where I heard that they took down, or didn't put up. It was about sunning.
Sunny?
Sunning.
Sunny. Butthole sunny.
Yeah.
Did it?
Did it work?
No. I didn't put up the video because one of the butthole sunny guys was like, this shit's not a joke. It's the porn to the soul. Yeah, I didn't put it up because the guy was such a dick. I was just like, I'm not going to give this guy all this attention. No, sure. All right, well, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's do 5 more if you guys don't mind. 5 more questions. How's it going? Good.
What's sunning?
Sunning is when you point your butthole toward the sun, and the sun god Ra uses that as a portal to give you positive sunlight.
Thank you.
I was like,
how do you feel about technology?
I feel pretty positive about it.
Yeah, the deepfake shit's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know if it's me.
Yeah. I think that's when you'll know you'll have made it.
Yeah.
And then, last question. What's your favorite fast food
What's the region?
Texas.
Buc-ee's. Yeah, Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Well, they have the best pulled pork sandwich.
Buc-ee's is shit.
Texas truck stops.
What's the best fast food in Arizona?
You gotta keep it real.
I've never been here.
To Arizona?
We're from Austin. The dude that was
yeah.
We're from Texas.
So you've been to Buc-ee's?
Of course.
Have you had the pulled pork brisket sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay. You like it?
It's pretty good.
Let's go.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate you. Crew necks and t-shirts. Just you and me. Let's go.
So, I wanted to ask about if you you ever found out more about like the life, character, career, actions of Dre?
Dre? That's a deep cut, yeah. Dre Kobe. I hang out with him in Vegas. He's cool.
You saw him?
I met Dre.
Was he?
There's a video of me meeting Dre. There's a video of me walking up to his house, knocking on the door, going in and partying with Dre. He's a construction manager in Las Vegas. He's a legend. He's a good looking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, Dre's awesome.
Sounds like it. So my second question is, I heard you mention dissociation in
it's
the Life's documentary, and I wanted you to like elaborate on your experience with that.
Yeah, it's more depersonalization and derealization as opposed to dissociation.
What do you feel like? What's the difference?
Like dissociation is more like it's dissociative is very broad. Depersonalization is when you see yourself as like not a human being, you know, just like a weird like soul trapped in a skin suit and trying to get out and then behind your eyes, just misery. And derealization is when you know that you're real, but you don't feel that the world around you is real. Like you feel like your eyes are lying to you or something like that. So dissociation is broad, and some people enjoy dissociation. You know, some people would take a dissociative drug, like ketamine. No one would take a depersonalization drug. You know what I mean? So it's just...
Dissociative, it can be positive, so people associate with stressed out. Depersonalization is really scary. That's part of the reason I travel so much, you know? Experiences like this make me feel more like I'm a real person, like talking to people, but it still is there when I spend a bunch of time alone, so that's why I keep moving around.
I feel like it's like a pretty just new pathway from like making your brain more.
It makes you work harder, you know, because you can't reach that just like lazy bare minimum by yourself. Yeah, definitely. You experience some of that?
I do, a little bit of association. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what this is.
All the corny shit works, like exercising and like, you know, not drinking every night. It really works. 4 days of running, like most good body guy ever walked here.
Then my last question is, I saw you on the History podcast, and I just wanted to ask about, you said you were to Walmart in Flagstaff at some point? And I just wondered, like, how many times have you been to Flagstaff? It's like,
a bunch of times, because just going from LA, like, sounds LA, going from LA to Albuquerque. It's one of the best drives in the world. Is all around Flagstaff. So it's a checkpoint for so many like pretty western highways. It's just, you know, can't get enough. Flagstaff lifestyle.
What was your experience? Did you like Ethan and Ela? Like, did you go there?
They're chilling. Thank you. Well, I'm down for a couple more. Let's do it. Thank you for waiting.
Hey dudes, my birthday tomorrow too.
April 23rd, Taurus gang?
Hell yeah, dude.
Taurus.
It was the day that Shakespeare was born and died.
He died on his birthday?
He died on his birthday.
Genius.
On our birthday. The news really news for you.
For sure. How old are you?
I'm turning 28.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's dope. But I wanted to ask, because you were in Ukraine, did you run into any other American media while you were there?
Yeah, this was a crazy story I've never shared. I've met this other American journalist, right, who I truly believe was like a Russian psyop infiltrator kind of guy. Like, it's heavy out there. Like, Russia's like cyber campaign is one thing, but they have a lot of Western like influencers out in Russia, like making Ukrainians and the Ukraine military look as bad as possible. So this dude comes up to me, he's like, yo, all gas no brakes, like, love your content, bro. He's like, I got someone you gotta talk to. And he's like, he's really like dope ass dude who like, you know, runs a refugee for a bunch of kids on the outskirts of town. He's the fucking best dude ever. Links me up. I go there, and the dude who was running this orphanage escorts me to this lady who starts saying all this like pro-Putin, pro-Stalin shit.
That freaked me the fuck out. There's the one American journalist I met. Yeah, but a lot of them went further like to the front lines. I didn't want to do that. That's my place. But there's a lot of American journalists like you know, Maripol and Kharkiv, but I don't want to, you know, it's not me.
Poster activity.
Thank
you, dude. Happy birthday.
For sure, thank you. I can answer all these questions, by the way. You guys aren't super bored, are you? Having fun still? We'll do it later.
Running joke in the government, because they live on like 500 funny. And then I have one more question. Where were you at January 6th?
I had COVID. Yeah, I had COVID.
Like this January 6th?
Oh, this one. January 6th, 2021? Yeah, I had COVID. I was, they tried to do it 3 times before. I was at the 3 failed attempts. Oh, that's what the movie's about. I had COVID, I was watching it from my RV, like right outside of DC. It's honestly like one of the worst days of my life because everyone was calling me, like, you gotta show up, it's gonna be sick. Like,
So you weren't like actually there January 6th?
I was not there on January 6th, no. But it would have been good. That's how I felt on January 6th. 10 miles from the Capitol, unable to move. Screaming at my phone. I'm never gonna succeed in life. That really, thanks for reminding me. Playing shit when that day sucked though. Terrifying day for democracy as well.
I'm Zach.
Solo Cowboy?
Or Whiskey Solo.
Whiskey Solo?
Whiskey Solo on Instagram.
You like whiskey?
I did, yeah.
You did? Alright.
I do, yeah.
What's your favorite whiskey?
I like Scotch.
Okay.
Yeah, Scotch is pretty good.
Very good.
I just wanted to ask, do you like bluegrass?
What? Do you do bluegrass?
I play bluegrass, yeah.
Bro, it sounds calming. Evan's dad is a guitarist in a bluegrass band.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
Yeah.
I tried to go to a bluegrass festival at Bullhead City and it was 40 plus. I couldn't get in. I'll give it a second chance. What's the best bluegrass verse on the top of your head?
Billy Strings. Alive or ever? Tony Rice.
Tony Rice, okay, cool. It's the first person I talked to. Maybe not to fucking talk to. Look up. Come on.
Tony Rice passed me last Christmas last year.
I'll check them out.
It's pretty badass.
Thank you, Gene.
Last question. Are you going to the Bluegrass Festival here?
Have I been to it?
Do you plan to in September? Cooking in the Pines? I'll buy you a ticket.
Alright, thank you. How much is it?
$200 or something.
Thank you, bro.
Some esoteric questions.
Esoteric.
What is the meaning of life?
Flagstaff Q&A.
What do you think happens after you die?
You decompose into the earth, the trees and grass. Grass remains. We live through every cell and organism as we decompose.
Okay. And are you scared?
Scared of what?
Of death.
No. It's just so far away. I will be at some point. When I'm 50, I'll probably be tripping a little bit. Are you scared of that?
Some days. It depends. It changes day to day, you know.
Are you scared of that right now?
I feel like it.
I think you're safe. What's that? Yeah.
I wanted to know what the last song you listened to was. Or recent one, whatever you remember.
March Madness by Future. Yeah. It was snowing and I was trying to get myself amped up. I was like, I am.
That'll do it.
This song's about me.
And peanut butter.
It's good.
Crunchy or cream?
Crunchy. Thank you. Is that the name of the school here? Is that the name of the school here? I was like, what's that? Yeah.
But I have a question about, like, you had an interview with the QAnon shaman.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if, like, one, you have anything else you're going to do with him, or if you plan on doing any concert, or not concert, something kind of like that with someone else?
Well, I mean, he was an interesting person to talk to, because in many ways I see him as like a pretty hardcore, like, misinformation kind of victim. You know, but I think the people who pushed him into action are the ones who should be sent to jail, not someone like that. And so I just wanted to humanize him a little bit and just show how a sort of like shell-shocked, like peyote guy could go down like the red pill rabbit hole and end up with a horn helmet, screaming at the top of his lungs at the nation's capital. But I mean, he did storm the Capitol, so I see where he's in jail. But I don't believe in prison in jail. So no life should be there. Somewhere else, something else.
Yeah. Second question. I know you
this. Do you think the nation is actually as divided, like physically, as it is?
When he said the nation, I thought the Nation of Islam. I was like,
I'm not going there. Do you think like the actual American people are as divided as like the media portrays? Or
no, definitely not. But I think that 2020 basically were. I mean, that was really intense. Now I think, like I said, normalcy is returning for better or for worse. No, people are not as divided as it seems. I think in some cities they are. Like if you were to take Seattle and compare it to like Montgomery, Alabama, yeah. I hate using the South as a scapegoat. Let's say Kingman in Seattle, or even like Tucson and Kingman. I don't know why I keep shooting at Kingman. Yeah, those places are as divided as could be, but I think most people are more concerned with getting by than Antifa or whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah. Feels good.
Yeah.
So, in terms of figuring out where you and your crew go next, what's like your research process? Like, is it just kind of you guys always do deep kind of?
Honestly, kind of crowdsourced now. Like if something is worthy of covering, enough people tell us about it. When we're going to the Rainbow Family Gathering in Colorado this month, we had already got
Like 10 emails about that over the past month.
The 9-day UFO mega conference at Lofton that would never be seen by anyone. 100 hours of footage. Didn't make it.
Yeah, I'm surprised I made it, which was terrible.
Understandable. And did Chris Mack only agree to do the interview because you guys are in Channel 5?
Yeah. I tell the time, like, come over right now.
Honestly, that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, bro. I appreciate it. So our turns.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Two questions. One, Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Garrett?
You listen to Drain Gang?
Drain Gang.
Drain Gang, sorry.
Drain Gang.
Yeah.
Are you a part of Drain Gang?
I listen to Blade a lot.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Here and there, yeah.
But you mentioned earlier about mainstream media and like how it's dying out. But you associated mainstream media more with like CNN and Fox, which obviously not something I pay attention to. But then you started to like source Instagram, like Twitter, more raw. Do you really think that's like
the spread of raw iPhone video?
Okay,
Yeah.
but do you think that it doesn't have like some kind of like agenda behind it the way news does?
Oh, it definitely can. I think the echo chamber is, if not stronger on social media than it is in the news. But I feel like you can actually be more media literate on the phone than you can watching TV. Because you can, if you look hard enough, find raw clips and stuff. You have to just do a little more research, but like it allows you to do that.
On Instagram.
Yeah, I mean on Instagram, on LiveLeak, on Twitter, like I didn't want to just say Instagram because that's not like the best way to find stuff. But like I
That's
consume.
just all I use, so that's
I consume most of my media just people like sharing videos as they happen. You know, that's how I've been following Ukraine. You know, I'd rather see a raw video of what's going on. I know it can be manipulated, but I try to look into it.
No, yeah. Well, that's interesting. I just want to hear that. But, and then I had a comment too.
Yeah.
You had a video out. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a 3D-dimensional like convention or something. But the first dude on the video, his name was David. Crap ton of like dreads.
David Starchild from Venice.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
He was one of the like.
That guy?
Yeah, dude. He was like, Christ. He's my cousin's dad, and because of that video, she was like having like a court custody battle for the kid. Because of that video where he admitted that he had done psychedelics, it helped her case. So I just want to say thank you so
You got a cool fit.
This actually has a lot to do with the first question.
Right.
When you mentioned like the dying out of mainstream and legacy media for individual journalism, do you know any
great or decent ways to actually get people to fact check what they see when they are looking at like totally independent stuff?
That's the thing.
Because it's just tough.
It creates a lot of problems.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Because any fact-checking tool, they'll see that as compromise as well.
Right.
Like how Instagram puts the CDC website on your post if you mention the word COVID or something. People are just like over that. I mean, it's a tough one. People got to be just better researchers, I guess. But I mean, we've all definitely consumed like fake news on Instagram, for sure. It's everywhere. You know, you just got to be smart and just navigate it right. Look for just the raw videos. It's the only way you can figure stuff out. Yeah.
Okay. And then second question is, have you ever been like talking to someone that's so far down rabbit hole or like so deep in like cognitive dissonance or something, they're not convincible, or like, have you ever talked to someone like that, not necessarily convinced them of your opinion, but just gotten them to open their mind a little bit and like,
definitely.
Like get through to them?
Yeah, for sure, from time to time, you know, but you can get through to someone just by asking them to clarify. We call it toddler questioning. Why do you think that? Why? To the end of the line, we're like, I don't know why I think that. You know? You can help people break down the things that they think that aren't true. Yeah, just ask why forever. Remember how much that pissed your parents off? It's fine because they were lying to you. Santa Claus, like, what the hell? I see him. Yeah. For sure.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming, bro. I appreciate it. We'll take these last 4, and then I'm going to the last 3. Hey.
I'll keep it short. You've been all over the country.
Yes.
What's your favorite place in America?
The Southwest.
So, okay, where is it?
Yeah.
Just the Southwest and West Coast. California and the Southwest is the only place in the U.S. for sure. The East Coast, the Midwest, the Deep South, Florida.
Okay.
Both. Yeah, individuals out here. Everywhere's sheep everywhere else. The Southwest?
No, I'm from Canada. I go to ASU though.
Okay, cool. In 10 years?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming up here, bro.
Yeah, I might come on 26.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Phoenix show 26. Good one. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks for waiting, man.
Hello.
Hello.
At what point did you realize you wanted to become a journalist, and what steps did you take to pursue that dream?
Just get involved in my high school newspaper when I was like 15, 16. You know, just like, I wanted to have a front row ticket to whatever I wanted to experience and like see everything up close. And it's kind of a corny thing, but like a front row seat to history or whatever. And you know, everybody wants coverage. Everybody, as a media member, you get to go wherever you want. So I just wanted to always get into a bunch of stuff. And that's the only way to do that, is through journalism. You can see everything. Anyone can do it.
Were you intimidated by the Joker?
No. Miami, Joker 305, Ross Chico Live Joker? No, I was not. It was like 40 twisted teeth a day.
I just wanted to ask, you said like protests obviously have died down a lot since 2020. How do you think we can like reboot that without like the fear mongering?
That's a tough one, because a lot of the centrist liberals who like were in the streets heavy, like with anti-Trump signs, and then, you know, like a lot of the protests during like the BLM 2020 era were basically just anti-Trump protests for a lot of people, like my mom, you know. To be honest with you, a lot of people in my family, like now they've gone back, because a lot of people saw like Trump getting out of office as like this is, like that was it, like we saved the world, we're good. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's such a fucked up question. It's a good question, because something horrifying is what have to happen again, right? You don't want that to happen, you know. But like, what could be more horrifying than what happened in 2020? I can't really think of anything. So I think the election. That's such a good question, because journalism is supposed to shock and outrage you. I think there's a difference between fear-mongering and then highlighting things going on. Because fear-mongering would be like me telling you some shit that's not real to get you scared. Whereas I think just people should just keep covering these issues. You know, like prison reform. Like, you know, that's still a thing. You know, like we still have the highest incarceration rate in the world. That's what I want to start covering. I want to do more stuff that has an impact. That issue is always. I went to school in Louisiana, and like Louisiana is like #1 most incarcerated state in the U.S. So they're by the most incarcerated territory in the world.
So like that kind of stuff I want to get back into. Yeah. So what do you think? I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, the FLAGSTAFF protest scene has kind of hit a dead stop recently, I
Yeah.
agree. But I want to see it like more talked about, like more, I mean, I don't know, when things get into the mainstream, that's when we get that news, so it's like hard to like stay protected as like a decentralized thing.
and if people genuinely do start doing great, you know,
Right.
maybe there could be less protesting.
Yeah.
You know, especially in a smaller community. I mean, FLAGSTAFF is small enough that I think it would be possible to solve a lot of problems locally. You know,
Yeah, and we have like one of the highest, like, or we have like one of the deadliest police forces. Like,
FLAGSTAFF, really?
Yeah, it's like almost neck and neck with, I don't know what to say. But it's
neck and neck with someone else bad.
not great, higher than Tucson and Maricopa.
Higher than Maricopa cops?
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know, local organizing, obviously like all of us here care about this shit.
Yeah.
I think that has something to do with it.
Is there any events or upcoming things you want to promote?
No, I wish, but like if you guys want to ever get together at City Hall, it's like bring us some shit, we should. I don't know if you're really not overall, yeah.
Yeah, what's Cornish Pass?
Where are we all going?
Last night, we had the opportunity to shut down any bar of all of our choosing right after this. In Tucson last night, I just picked a random spot. What's the spot we're going to?
Cornish is chill, it's like...
Everybody raise your hand if you want to go to Cornish afterwards. Is it a dog bar?
Museum plugs the dog bar.
It's a restaurant bar.
Get all this.
Yes.
They have giant tables and lots of parking.
No.
Visitor center.
You like the bar? You like it? You like it?
Food and
Do you like it?
and to relations.
Pictures of coal miners.
Alright, so everybody go there after. I just another Q&A. Thank you. One more question, this will be the last one. Round two.
Do you ever feel like you're being gang stalked?
No, but this would be a similar feeling. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate it.